adults carry trauma into their relationships. Studies estimate up to 70% of adults have experienced at least one traumatic event. Trauma doesn't always leave visible scars. It shapes how we love, trust, and connect. At Team 2, we bring these stories into the light. Through open conversations, we explore the roots of pain and the path toward renewal. Every story deserves healing. Every heart deserves peace. Join us in rebuilding hope, because healing begins with two.
Welcome to our show, Team 2. My name is Dr. Harrison Mungal, and this is my wife, Kathleen Mungal. We're so excited for another show today. We have some friends of ours, Marco and Keren Luciani. Welcome to our show.
Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much for having us.
Our pleasure. I know you have a newborn baby as well, so it's nice to be able to have the baby here too. But today we want to talk about, as some of you have been watching our show and giving comments in terms of two shall become one. What does that mean? And that's how Team 2 all started. We really want to focus today on faith in marriage. How do we build strong faith in marriage when a husband and wife may not have the same, maybe the spiritual background? Perhaps one is younger than the other in their faith. Probably there's challenges that they're facing in relationship that pertains to lack of faith in holding their marriages together. I mean, there's so many couples that go through problems, whether it's financial problems, like infidelity. Probably some of the shows we have talked about grieving, like miscarriages and others where struggling to have children as well.
Yeah.
And
a lot of different struggles that we face in our relationships as couples. And we really enjoy having guests here that we can share, some different perspectives of different things that they may have gone through, or different techniques that they have used to help their relationships. So we're just really happy that you could be here with us.
Yeah, we want to, we hear a lot from couples in terms of the fights that they go through. And one of the things I've learned, 35 years of marriage, this year will be 36 years, and raising a big family of 7 children, all serving the Lord, is that we have had to put God as our foundation and have strong faith. Even though there are times when you don't feel like praying or praising the Lord, or there are times when the struggles are so overwhelming that you just want to run away from life. We have learned that throughout every situation we encounter, having faith in God really brings two people together as become one. So Marco and Keren, maybe you can help our viewers. You guys have been married for 5 years. We have couples who have been married for 3 months. We have couples who have been married for 50 years, who go through struggles and have come for therapy, etc. So with your experience in 5 years, maybe you can help some couples who may be married for 5 years or less or more and have had their own personal struggles, and their faith seems to be dwindling down. Tell us a little bit, or viewers today, how do you build some strong faith in your marriage?
Well, it's a great just intro to kind of the snapshot of our life recently. And I was just sharing with somebody yesterday that sometimes it's the teleprompter of your life, of what you keep saying to yourself, that sometimes is that positive or that negative. And for us, when we first got married, we really wanted to start a family. And it was probably one of the greatest decisions and the joys that you would make when you want to do that. And it's filled with that roller coaster ride of emotions. And quickly we started to realize that it was becoming burning. And as days turned into weeks, and weeks into eventually turned into years. And when you feel that that declining faith, and you really that hope starting to drift away, the realities of life started to become so real and so heavy, and that's where we started to have these challenges together. And then there was this pivotal moment. walk with God. There was a pivotal moment in our relationship together, and there was that pivotal moment in that dream that we hoped for, that we believed that was from God. As my wife suffered a miscarriage, and when you're already starting to feel no hope, and then you start to hear that, oh my gosh, you're pregnant, and something is taken away that way. It's just this rock bottom that you've never experienced before. And for us, we kind of looked at each other at that moment, and what we saw with each other was, we can't give up on this dream. We can't give up on our relationship together. We can't give up on our friendship. We can't give up on our relationship. We just can't give up. And then it hit that God never asked us to have great faith. He just asked us to have faith. And
That's true.
I don't know if you've all never seen a seed, but it's tiny. And it's because he wants you to have that little faith. And when we had that little faith, we started to repair our friendship. We started to realize that we had to have fun and not just believe in this giant thing that was before us. We started to realize that we had to pour into our relationship together, and we had to pour into our life and choose joy. And that was the opening up of heaven for us. And when this little miracle came, it was so much sweeter than we could have ever imagined, because we just decided that we just couldn't give up. And I actually shared this with our congregation a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
That when I looked at him, when he was a few minutes born and I had him in my hand, I looked at him and I said to my son, again, a few minutes old, I just said, I never gave up on you. And it hit me back that God never gave up on us. And I never gave up on her. She never gave up on me. And I think that's a great ability for things to be birthed. Not just him, but great miracles. Joy is birthed, not giving up.
So Keren, how did you maintain your faith when being the one who had the miscarriage and then having to now believe God? I know Marco, I've known him for a while, and I know he's a man of faith, and I know you guys are a great couple and trust in the Lord, but the human side of us sometimes become overwhelming. So maybe you can help our viewers understand a little bit how you as a woman was able to hold on, or maybe be encouraged by your husband's strength. How did you go through the process until you got pregnant again?
Yeah, so the first thing, when the miscarriage happened to me, I get down. But the only way that I told my husband is, I need your support. I need you to lift me up, because we're going to go through to a hard, and we're going to continue. And every month for us was a big challenge when it didn't happen. But we continue, and until the end, when I was pregnant, we were so scary, and we always trust in God. And I told him, God, do something from the beginning to the end, and he's going to make this baby come through to us. I'm a great believer, and I know that even the science or treatments didn't work for me. God is the only one who can do it for me, for us.
There was something that we said to each other, and that actually she said first, that when it was every month that you're trying and you're hoping and you're believing, it is also extremely difficult, because it's a month of a rejection every month. And sometimes people go through a crippling rejection maybe once or a few times in their life. But when it's a years and it's every month, it's this unbelievable rejection every month.
Well, let's hold on to that thought. I'm going to have a short commercial, And I want to come back to that thought of every month having to go through that fear of rejection, like the body rejecting or not maybe getting pregnant. And then we're going to talk about some practical things we can do to encourage couples to keep pushing ahead. So let's get a short commercial.
At Team 2, we believe in the power of connection. Because 2 is always better than 1. Through therapy, workshops, and retreats, Team 2 gives couples the tools to heal, grow, and build lasting love. Join us in saving relationships, strengthening families, and restoring hope. Donate today, because love is worth fighting.
Well, welcome back to our show. We have Marco and Keren Luciani, and they are sharing a powerful story of how they trusted God and built strong faith in their marriage. They had a miscarriage, and today they're celebrating birth of a baby boy. And so they're so excited, and we're so excited to share this opportunity with them as well, and to really give God praise for his greatness. But through that journey from the miscarriage to the pregnancy to having this baby, it took a lot of faith and trusting in God. And some of the viewers today who are watching us, you may have been in their shoes and you have given up hope, or maybe it's something new to you, or perhaps you just get so frustrated that why it has to happen to me, and you start blaming God and blaming yourself. Today, with real stories from Marco and Keren, they're going to help us understand that frustration of month to month. As we, just before we took that commercial break, you were talking about Marco and Keren, and then what are some of the practical things you guys were doing to kind of go through that time period?
Yes, as mentioning, one thing that my wife was a huge help on for what we felt was that crippling rejection every month. She just said to me, and it was a big game changer, that we have to reset every month. It didn't happen this month. We need to reset. We need to have the renewing of the mind. We can't have the rumination of all the thoughts cycling all the time of that same outcome. So we just decided that we were going to start fresh every month. And that was a huge piece for us, because we didn't want to bring that baggage, those circling thoughts, all that negativity into that new month.
Right.
And so what we did is kind of like how you punch in and you punch out at work. We're like, okay, this is a new month. It starts from zero. It's fresh. It's new. And we're going to believe for new things. And that was a really big help for us, where when you kind of start over, there's a great feeling when you're starting it with some positivity. Instead of saying, oh no, we have to start over again. We just said, no, we get to start over again. This is great.
I like that. That's very encouraging. So when you put your like, in terms of you both being on board to reset the mind, to start all over again, as you said, how did both of you get your minds to come to that place where you can actually do it together and not one or the other?
Well, to be very transparent and honest with you, because that's how I've always been with you, Harrison. But it wasn't that way in the beginning. It was, we felt like sometimes two ships passing in the night. We felt like we were on different pages. We felt like we had different wants and different desires, and one was up, one was down, and it was very hard. And until we realized that we got to be this unit together. We have to be this team together. And what do we want from this month? So a lot of times each month had its own challenges. We said, okay, what are we going to do this month? We decided that we wanted to make sure that we had like some great adventures throughout the month so that we could have some fun.
Yeah.
We wanted intimacy to not be about making a baby, but to have fun as well. So we decided to make that change in certain months and do something different and fun and great. And we also just decided that let's just talk about some of our worries and some of our struggles at the top of the month, so that we can get them out in the open. And once we talked about them, they weren't giant fears. They weren't big monsters anymore. We talked about them, and for us, we used some fertility clinics that were a huge, big struggle for us in the beginning, until we decided that we wanted to try it again in a better, healthier way. And once we did that, it started to become a big tool for us. Instead of this sadness that we had to go there, instead of a big anxiety that we had to go there, we talked about it and we just decreased all those anxieties. So it was really this great avenue to be this unit together. We felt more as one during that time period, because we were just like, it's you and I. We have to fight this together. We have to do this together.
And I like that, you putting your mind in the same page where you have to work together to make that happen. How do you get couples to put their mind together? Like, you guys came to that point where you're like, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Even with the fertility clinic, there are still some people who are anti-fertility clinic because they're trusting that God is gonna do it. But I'm a believer that if you have a headache and you're praying for the headache and it's not going away, pray for the medication that God is going to use the medication for the headache, right? Are there anything you want to add today?
Well, I think
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. You can finish your thought.
Oh, sorry. It just hit on. She just sparked a story. We were 1 week away from having to do a procedure that we did not want to do. And we asked God for a miracle, but we were going to do it. So there's these things where you're so right, Harrison. Sometimes people have this huge, I don't want to go there. I don't want to do it. I just want God to do it. And when we said, okay, God, we said to the clinic, okay, we're going to do that procedure. They put us on the list. We had our time period to go, and it was right after she got pregnant. So it is that yes, into believing that God has created everything and just trusting in him. And he gave us the desire of our hearts. So yes, clinics are great. Medicine is great. God's the greatest. And I just believe in all that. So thank you.
Amen. Well, we're going to take a short commercial break and we will be right back. And we're going to continue in encouraging couples who may be struggling to have faith in their marriage because things are falling apart. Some of the practical things we can encourage them to do as a couple so they can actually be on board like you guys have. And I think that's, like the Bible says, when two shall agree in touching anything, you guys came to a point of agreeing, even though it was like month by month having to reset the mind, and then the miracle came about. So let's stay tuned for a short commercial.
Love is a journey, not a destination, but a discovery. At Team 2, we walk with you every step, guiding love forward. Here, every story matters, and every step forward brings light to love. Because stronger connection is the heart of every lasting relationship. Connect with Team 2 today, because 2 is better than 1.
Welcome back to our show. We have our special guests with us, Marco and Keren Luciani, talking about how we can have faith in our marriage when we go through struggles. They shared their story. And thank you so much for sharing your story too on having that miscarriage and then really pushing yourselves month by month, still trusting the Lord, having that faith as a mustard seed, as you said, even to the point of like, we're going to trust God through the fertility clinic. And then just a week before what you needed to do, God intervened and the miracle took place. I'm sure we have couples who are watching us today that are frustrated and may not necessarily be the fact of having a miscarriage, but it can be other issues that they struggle, because we all have our own struggles. But having faith in God to believe that through the struggles, you can actually walk through and come out victorious, and you can celebrate the goodness of God. Let's, before we close up, let's maybe share with our viewers a bit of some practical things. I don't know if you want to share a few practical things, and then you guys can share a few practical things as well.
Well, I really like how you shared, Marco, how you really heard what she said and said, we have to do reset every month. And you took it and you build upon it, and it became a strength to you, and it became faith to you. And I think that's such an important step, that we need to hear from one another. That's the key in our faith journey. We need to hear from one another. We need to know what we're thinking. We need to know that each other can hear from God. It's not just one. And we can be encouraged by one another. I think that's really a strength in our faith journey.
Addressing the elephant in the room.
Yeah, for
sure. When coming.
But not just the struggles, but also the encouragement or the suggestions, that we, sometimes something that you always say to me, it clicks and it's like, oh yeah, I can grasp hold on to that. So if we can hear each other and take hold of those ideas and those faith ideas and then run together with it, I think that's encouraging.
Yeah. Do you guys have any suggestions for couples that maybe young in their marriage, or even couples that are struggling, that are old in the marriage, that are not listening to each other because there's an awkwardness of one may feel they know more than the other, or one is more stronger in the Lord than the other, or one may have faith in the Lord and the other don't, in the sense maybe they're not a believer. There are so many different scenarios that couples go through today, but we know the ultimate goal is to have faith in God. What are some practical things would you say that really you can see that through those steps or through those practical things, your faith in your marriage got stronger?
I'll go first, and then just think of some things that I think for us, it was the ability to know that we are very different as people. God brought us together, and it's been so great, but it's so awesome to know that we are so different and that we need different things. And so what it was is just realizing what she needed and what I needed, and being able to give those things to each other. Prime example is that when I was feeling so much stress and so much anxiety every month about this happening, is it going to happen this month? Is it going to happen this month? I told her that my personality is I need to be active, or my anxiety is going to go through the roof. And she is very much the opposite on that. So there was times where we scheduled some great outings together that we wanted to do together. And so that was something that was practical, where we had fun, where it was joy, and we chose joy. And so when we came home, joy was in our house. Joy was in our mind. Joy was in our heart. We had some great moments together. And so that it was really great to really hear that from each other. And then what she needed that I was able to give is that she just needed the house to be filled with peace. And that was her sanctuary. And so I realized that I needed to do that for her, which benefited me as well. So I think that was a great piece. What do you think was some things that you felt that we did that was practical?
Yes, for us, that work, personally, I work individual in my part, how lower my thoughts, my anxiety, doing things that I feel relief in how I can discharge that feelings that I have in the moment. They're not affecting my relationship. Marco as well, I give too much time to him, to his the thing that he likes. When we back together, so we all were down and nothing was bothering us.
We were more peaceful.
Yes.
Yes.
That's good. Well, you know, like, I'm really feeling encouraged the fact that when you guys were looking at building your faith together, first thing you did is you addressed the awkwardness with each other. You saw what each other's needs were, and you started to really work hard in meeting it. You address the situation. You talk about solution in terms of resetting. I love the fact that every month you guys reset the mind, and I think that's a very good key for couples going through any struggles in life. Is
Right.
like reset the mind over and over and over, and then doing practical things like going out and bringing fun into your marriage. I think a lot of couples have lost the joy in marriage because of the problems becoming so overwhelming, and they focus more on the problem than focus on each other. So I love that factor, and also bringing it in the home. I think that's really, really, really good to be able to bring the joy in the home. Is there any last words that you want to share before we wrap up today?
Yes, and it's very similar to what I was able to share a few weeks ago to our congregation we heard was extremely encouraging for a lot of people, and there was many people that came up to us at the end that are going through fertility issues. It's more common than ever before, and people feel like aliens. They feel like they're the only ones going through it, even though it's just so many people. The piece that I was able to mention, and while I was saying it, it still was giving me peace. And I always feel like those are the ones that are from God, when you can share advice and it's still coming back to you. God can turn it around. No matter what you're going through, God can turn it around. And there's time and time again in the Bible, there's time and time again of so many things that is happening. It doesn't matter what circumstance it is, God can turn it around. And when we held on to that, it's so beautiful to know that if there's a broken marriage and you're doing the work, and God can turn it around. If there's fertility issues and it seems like the doctors are saying there's no hope, God can turn it around. Financial issues, God can turn it around.
Well,
and it was encouraging to me.
We're going to wrap up our show today with that food for thought, is that God can turn it around. Just keep your faith strong in the Lord. Thanks again, viewers, for watching us today. Looking forward to see you next week, where we can, on our next show. We're excited all the time to just be able to bring some of these little nuggets to you. Also get other couples who can help us to see other things in life that we can be encouraging to you watching our show. If you want to donate to Team 2, feel free to send us an email or and let us know. We do want to support couples who are unable to afford therapy, as well as take them on retreats and build marriages, because we believe that when God put two people together, they shall become one. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Bye.
Sometimes love isn't loud. It's showing up when you're tired, caring when your heart feels empty. Compassion fatigue is real. Even the strongest hearts can run dry. At Team 2, we help couples find balance again, to rest, to breathe, to reconnect. Because love isn't about being perfect. It's about healing together. Even love needs rest, a pause to remember why we began. At Team 2, we create space for restoration, where love can breathe again and hearts can refill with hope. When love feels heavy, let's